Hey guys, what's going on? Hey, are you looking to lose weight? You want to drop body fat and you want to improve your health, but you kind of seem stuck and you haven't been able to get over the pitfalls of dropping the weight? Well, let me show you really quick. There's a simple formula. I'm not going to draw out a formula for you, but I am going to show you an illustration on what it looks like. Guys, how can I validate that what I do works? Guys, I've worked with over 20,000 people. I've helped people lose thousands of pounds. More importantly, I show them the simple formula that I've been doing personally for over 40 years. By the way, I'm Coach Ramiro. I'm the Ageless Fit Coach. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. At the time of this video, I'm 53, and I'm telling you, dropping body fat is super easy when you know exactly what to do. It's super hard when you don't. You can feel frustrated. You can feel like it doesn't work. You feel like you tried everything. You can feel like nothing out there that works for your body type. Trust me, you just haven't found the plan that works. So I actually want to draw it out for you so you can have an idea of what it looks like when you have two individuals that are basically the same weight. Let's just say both of these individuals weigh 200 pounds. All right, this is a simple illustration. So they weigh 200 pounds, and on the outside you have fat. So we're just going to call this fat. On the inside, this is muscle. All right. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build lean muscle. This is what most people want to do. They want to get lean. They want to drive body fat down. Unfortunately, what most people end up doing is they end up losing weight. Weight is fantastic because certainly some of us probably need to lose weight, right? 70% of America is overweight. We know this already. But what matters is weight, especially body fat, is attached to it because the majority of people are actually overweight. And so I'm going to give you some ranges, right? So when we're talking in terms of weight ranges. So if this on the outside is fat, let's just assume this individual is at 35% body fat. All right, 40% would be in the obese range, 30 is over fat range, 25, 20, 15, 10, and then 5%. These are percentages of fat. All right, so all these percentages, there's a direct correlation between being over fat and having other illnesses, high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, heart attack, cancer, stroke. All those things proportionally go up once you increase body fat. And so what we try to do is you want to keep the fat level down. Now, that doesn't mean people who are below 30% don't get these. They do, just not proportionally at the same rate. Sadly, you just tend to have a higher rate of diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and all those other problems that are attached to it. People who are below 30% body fat tend to have the same problem, just not at the same proportional rate. So what we want to do is drive down body fat. Look, all being healthy does is give you a fighting chance, whether you want more energy, you want to feel better, you need recovery from maybe some illness, injury, or some kind of life setback, whether physical, emotional. At the end of the day, you just want a chance. That's all you're looking for, right? And so going back to this illustration of the person who's 200 pounds at 35% body fat, if this individual ends up losing some weight, let's just say they lose 25 pounds, all right? They're doing great. Now they're at 175 pounds, all right? All right? Now maybe they lose a little bit more weight and they lose another 25 pounds, and maybe they're at 150 pounds. Well, in this illustration, they've lost 50 pounds. That's actually a really good thing. They've actually lost 50 pounds. But their body fat could still be the same percentage of body fat. What does that mean? Proportionately, they still have the same amount of body fat. Nothing has changed in terms of body fat. And the reason is they've lost muscle in the process, so their body composition is still adequately the same. And so what happens is, just think about this, for every 1 pound of muscle you lose 1 pound of muscle, you've lost the burning capacity of 50 calories. What does that mean? Like you said, I've lost the burning capacity of 50 calories. Well, just think about this. Every single day when you're alive, your body is burning calories just to stay alive. Well, if you lose 10 pounds of muscle, you've now lost 500 calories of burning capacity per day that your body no longer burns. And so what does that mean? Well, that just means that today your body's going to burn 500 less calories, or that would be the equivalent of going doing a boot camp and working out for about an hour, for most people about an hour and 15 minutes long, to burn about 500 calories, or running 5 miles or walking 5 miles. And so you would have to do that consistently every day just to burn 500 calories. Well, the opposite is true also. If you put 1 pound of muscle, that's 50 calories per pound. If you put 10 pounds of muscle, that's 500 calories every single day that you would burn from just being alive, or the equivalent of 3,500 calories per week. And 3,500 calories is 1 pound. This right here is 5 pounds of fat, all right? So imagine losing one of these about every 5 weeks just from waking up and living. You haven't done a workout, you haven't done anything, but you gotta put the muscle on your body. We wanna create a furnace. And so here's how that would look like, right? So going back to this illustration over here, this individual is losing weight, losing weight, losing weight. Proportionally, they're losing muscle at the same time. But what if you could build the muscle and lose the fat? Build the muscle and lose the fat. And so they still weigh the same, but proportionately, as you're building muscle and you're driving body fat down, you're actually creating a furnace for yourself. And I go back to the very beginning of this, when I said that cardio is killing your gains. Here's the problem with cardio. I'm a cardio junkie. I've run 90,000 miles. I love to run. Like, it's one of the things that I've always enjoyed doing. Now, I've always been able to outrun my calories, but I've also had high level discipline with what goes in my body. You know, zip the lip when the timing is right. And Monday through Friday, the key is get it right. Get where you want to be healthy. That's the key right here. Get where you feel confident, feel where you feel good, and you feel like, man, I could live with this the rest of my life. You find your sweet spot that you can say, I could be here for the rest of my life in terms of what you feel like. When you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you feel confident and you're happy with where you're at and you're in healthy ranges, then you can manage the weight for the rest of your life. Like, I've weighed the same for 30 plus years at the exact same weight. And so what I want to show you is get where you feel comfortable at, get where it's within healthy ranges, and then from there, maintenance is 10 times easier. There's one of two ways on how to introduce cardio into your right. So one, you definitely got to get into the gym and start lifting weights. That's a no-brainer. Keep the muscle on your body. If you enjoy cardio and you want to add a cardio element to your training regimen, there's two ways that I would recommend adding cardio to your regimen. One is just make sure that you keep your heart rate very low. So you want caloric reduction or caloric deficit every single day. And so the goal is that you're burning more than what you're consuming. So that way you can always have a deficit if you are looking to lose weight. All right, that's the first way. And this way you don't get your heart rate up. That way it doesn't stimulate your appetite and you're not constantly overeating and now you're out eating what you're burning off. So we don't want to do that. So that's the first way. The second way is train like a sprinter. All right. I mean, so think about this, like sprinters are really lean and ripped and they're fit and healthy. So think 400 meters on down. So Google online, I'll put some pictures right here so you can see what like a sprinter looks like, what their bodies look like. Now remember, they got a different genetic makeup, all right? Maybe have fast twitch muscle fiber. So if you're 250 pounds and you want to look like a 180 pound sprinter, but your frame is a 240 pound linebacker, okay, you got to find a realistic picture of what you look like. And then you can say, okay, what's the best body that I could be into? And so I want you to be thinking, what's the best version of you? Rather than comparing one versus the other, think about what a sprinter does, right? It's anaerobic. It's short bursts of sprints. Now they're eating lean, they're lifting weights, they're putting the right fuel in their body, they're taking supplements, they're doing all the right things. It's the 5 things that I always talk about, right? Rest, hydration, diet, exercise, and supplements. You're putting these into your daily routine and it's part of your lifestyle, because ultimately this is what you're trying to do. Like, I've been doing fitness for 41 years at the timing of this video. How have I been so successful at maintaining my health, my life, and teaching it to so many others? I found a formula that worked and I just kept refining it and refining it and refining it. Now it's like second nature. I just keep doing the same repetitive actions over and over and over again. And so I don't give up on my health because I know it is important, and I won't give up on you. If you want some help, like driving body fat down is super easy. Building muscle is really easy. You know what the hardest part is? You saying yes that you want to improve. So many people out there are struggling with their health, their wellness, and they don't know where to start because they don't have a voice, or there's too many voices, and they try a whole bunch of different things. What I would say is try a plan for 1 year. Doesn't matter which plan, try any plan, because anything will work if you give it any attention. And so I would say find somebody that's got fruit on the tree. This is a great way to start. Find somebody that's got fruit on the tree. Once you find somebody that has fruit on the tree, hey, follow their philosophy for at least 1 year and give it a fair, honest shot. Meaning that you're gonna fall down, you're gonna get up, you're gonna fall down, you're gonna get up, you're gonna fall down, you're gonna get up. You're gonna repeat that process until you fall down less or you get up faster, and eventually you don't fall down as much. So the whole goal here is for you to learn. Remember, there's a transfer of knowledge. There is not a transfer of fitness. We can lead, teach, and train you, but at the end of the day, you still gotta implement the stuff that we're trying to show you. And so if you wanna improve your health, you want energy, you wanna feel better, you want your better vitality, you just have to be willing to go through the fire, and most importantly, you have to do all the work. There's a transfer of knowledge. There is not a transfer of fitness. You know, so at the end of the day, you still gotta get out there and do it. So by the way, if you get any value out of this content, I really appreciate the follow, and so you can smash the like button. But more importantly, if you need some help with your life and you need a plan, hey, type plan and I'll send you a plan that will help you get started wherever you're at. I mean, I always think there's 3 types of people who are looking for help. One is the never ever. You've never worked out a day in your life, and that's okay. Start where you're at, you work on it, you get better, and you improve. 2, there's the, man, I was fit in the past and I've just let myself go. And maybe that's you, and maybe you want to get back on track and you want to improve your health and your life. Right now is the best time. They say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So wherever you're at right now, get started. And number 3, you're the person who may be super fit and you've hit a plateau and you don't know where to go. And you just need to reset. And you need to get past where you're currently at and improve your health and your life. All I know is that I had great leadership in my life, and I want to show you the stuff that I've been doing that's not only worked for me, but the countless of others that I've helped along the way. So if you want some of that also, hey, type plan and I'll send it to you. But more importantly, finishing off right here, guys, anybody can improve no matter where you're at or whatever stage of life you're at. And more importantly, whatever you're going through that's holding you back, that might be the one thing that if you just got some vision on how to improve it and go beyond that, what it'll do is a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade down the road, it'll just open up the door and take you off into a different trajectory. If you want to find out how to drop body fat, you need help with your nutrition, and more importantly, you need a voice of guidance. Guys, I'm Coach Ramiro, and I'd love to be your voice moving forward over the next year. Follow along for more information like this, or if there's anything specific that you need help with, type it in the comment section. I'll make a video on it, and I'll send it out to you, and more importantly, I'll share it with the community so that they can get value as well. Hey, I'm Coach Ramiro, your Ageless Fit Coach. Make today amazing. Make it great. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. See ya.